Yeah, my name's Murray, and we manage and co-own a holiday park in Te Puru in the Firth of Thames, which is situated on the Coromandel Peninsula in the North Island of New Zealand. Coming down from Auckland, we're about a 3-hour trip from Auckland to the Coromandel Peninsula. But of course, the way New Zealand is, the Firth of Thames slots in the middle between the Coromandel and Auckland. So in a boat, you're only about an hour away. You can hop in the boat here, zip across the Firth, and be in by the Sky Tower within an hour, you know, so it's great, you know. Well, it's the type of place you want to come where you want tranquility, you want to be like at peace. It's no stress, no pressure, no city life. It's only probably 2 months of the year that you don't get fish. The rest of the year it's pretty much the same as it was today. Good spring fishing, summer fishing, autumn fishing, but the winter tends to die off. The fish go out to deeper water in the winter when it gets colder. This is their spawning season, so they're coming up to spawn, and so the fish are in good condition, come up, spawn, and on the way out. So you've got 2 chances of catching them, one on the way in and one on the way out. So unfortunately, this one's not being kept; he's too small. So he's going home. Been up here since well, the last 30-40 years, and know quite a bit about the area, and managed to get myself my big snapper. I've been trying for 50 years to get myself a big snapper. Finally got one, 12 kilos, and I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah. We're fishing in the Firth of Thames, and it's a favourite spot. Just got a bite there. Just it's a favourite spot for everybody that comes because you're not far off the boat ramp. You're sitting in the channel, going up and down with the tide and the wind, whichever direction it takes you, and it's really like a popular place. So you sit out in the channel, drift up and down, and that's the best type of snapper fishing for this time of year in that channel. Yeah. Fishing in about 13 to 14 metres of water. It can get deeper, you can get out to 26 metres, but you're probably better in those shallower trenches. Well, I was using ledger rigs with the fluffy end on it, the feather end, but we were still putting bait on.
These baits are just getting more and more brutal and more ugly, but the snapper just seem to love it.
You guys were fishing with stray lines. Calvin was fishing with jigs or floating jigs. So you can fish with all types of rigs out here. Yeah. We had a couple of hammerheads around us. We had a few kingies chasing fish up. Got lots of nice eating snapper, and we got one nice 3 kilo job. So yeah, it was a great day. The main secret to fishing and what we did today is an outgoing tide. You've got to be there at least 1 or 2 hours after the tide has turned. So you fish on the full outgoing, and then when the tide turns, as we found today, fishing went dead, and then the tide starts coming in again. You do pick up a few coming in, but for some reason, I don't know why, I haven't sort of really worked that one out yet, but the fishing is much better on the outgoing tides. Well, we did have the old Trans-Tasman rivalry out there today, and unluckily I've got to admit defeat. It was one to Australia, 1-0 to New Zealand, but there is another day. Well, tomorrow we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to go up to the mussel farms. This is where the commercial guys grow all their mussels, and they like us coming in there. We tie up to the buoys, and we fish in the rows where the mussel spaps are, and they encourage us to do it because the snapper obviously eat the spat, which is what grows the mussel. So we'll sit in there and give that a go. It's natural food for the snapper, so they're there. The commercial guys want us to be there, so we'll try that tomorrow.
Well, that was fun. We were just catching some little baby snapper, and I was just reeling one in. I thought I had one coming to the boat, but it was a giant mako, and he was swimming towards the boat with the snapper snatcher hanging out of his mouth. He spat it out of the boat and then hooked him again. And then we just fought him for like probably about 20 minutes. Then he was jumping, carrying on, and then this crazy spiral out of the water and just bit through the braid, which is a shame, but it's pretty cool to see.
My Stabie craft is a 509 XR wide. It's one of the first models they brought out, incorporating the aluminium bottom, aluminium pontoons, but with a fiberglass top. Reason why they were trying to do that was trying to get the nicer lines, because obviously with aluminium you've got square lines, but with the fiberglass top you get the nice curved lines like a fiberglass boat, and it looks really well. We've got the split windscreen in now, so you walk up through the front, so you can fish off the front as well as fish off the back, so it's like a walk around. And being a wide, you can walk through between the 2 pedestal seats. Most boats with of the 5 metre variety with the 2 pedestal seats, you can't walk through them because of the narrowness of them. Well, the best thing about Stablefracks obviously is their stability, stable at rest and stable while you're motoring. You can walk around in the boat, it's not going to tip on the side, it's going to stay flat. And especially when I was in my game fishing days, when I was catching 200 kg marlin, walking to the side of the boat and pulling a marlin in with a mate over the side of the boat, and the boat just sat there. So the type of fishing that most New Zealanders do is off a rocky outshore like we have today. So aluminium is the key. So you're looking at the aluminium franchise for a start. Pontoon boat, you see how shallow we came in there today. Most boats, when they came in and hit the bottom like what we did, because it was shallow, it would tip on the side because it hasn't got the pontoons to hold it up. So perfect, It's an all-round general purpose boat for what we did today, plus go out and do your big game fishing. The Coromandel is a famous place for not only its fishing but for tourism. It's got a beautiful mountain range. It's got all the lovely the purakawa trees. It's got camping grounds, camping spots. You've got your dock camps, it's where most tourists on their destination want to come. And obviously the people here are really friendly too. It's a great place to come. Our park is unique in that it's owned by several owners, and they've all got their own little unit. Some have their caravan, some have their house that was like a unit, and then some have their tram, the old trams. They were moved here in the 50s, come down from Auckland. They were obsolete, so these people bought them up, brought them down here, put them on their section, and they've kept the outside of them still looking like a tram, but done up their inside, so you walk inside and they're beautifully preserved, beautifully looked after. And so because of the different types of people that come here, we try and encourage the family orientated atmosphere. So people come, bring their young kids, take them out fishing. They do lots of activities, but it's still a nice, friendly camp,